Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Michaela. I'm a wife, a mom, and a knitter from British Columbia, Canada, and this is Galanthus Knits. Hi everyone, welcome here, welcome back. I thought I would just do a quick episode, and I am hoping that it will be a quick episode because I don't have loads of time, but just to update you on some of the things that I've been working on this summer. And I feel like I've been knitting quite a bit despite it being on and off hot. We actually have had quite a mild summer this year, which has been a really nice change from the previous few summers when it's been, above 30 for like a long period of time. We've only had a few, I want to say we've only had maybe, I don't know, 7-ish days that have been above 30 degrees Celsius. So that's been really nice because I don't cope well in hot weather. So today we're sitting at like 22 degrees and it's cloudy outside. So that's really nice. This is kind of my preferred summer temperature. I will say my garden tends to like it when it's a bit hotter, especially like the eggplant and the tomatoes, but it's doing okay. Anyway, I will just quickly update you on a few things, and I guess I will start with a few of my finished objects that you've seen previously. So the first one is the Holger blouse, Holger shirt, I think, from PetiteKnit, and this was my France project that I worked on while I was in France for my daughter. If you've seen my last episode, then you will know. And so I finished it and blocked it, but I haven't woven the ends in yet. And I will do that soon. But obviously she's not kind of itching to wear it right now, so it doesn't have to be done this very second. I blocked out really nicely. It has a really nice drape because it is with alpaca. This is Drops Flora, which is a wool alpaca blend. And then the purple is an alpaca. I will write the name down, what it is, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, it's all finished. I do really like blocking before weaving the ends in, just in case I need to like lengthen anything or change anything. I don't have to like unpick my my weave. So yeah, now that it's all finished, I think it's good. I mean, I could have put a little bit more length on the bottom, but I don't really think I'm going to go back and change it. I think this will be fine. Yeah, it's all finished. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. The pattern was super, super simple to follow. And, I will say, and I don't know if I actually said this in my last episode, that I did a modification in the striping. So it's supposed to be even stripes, the white and the contrasting, the main color and the contrasting color, white and purple here. So I believe it's 6 rows of each color in the pattern, and I did 6 white, 4 purple, 6 white, 4 purple, because I wanted the stripes to be slightly smaller. I started it out the way that it was supposed to be in the pattern originally, and then I ended up frogging it and starting over with smaller purple stripes because I just like the way that that looks a little bit daintier rather than like blockier. I hope that makes sense. It does in my head. But yeah, I really enjoy how it turned out. I think picking up stitches for collar I always slightly struggle with because that's kind of the part that you very much see, and it's not uneven, but maybe it's not the cleanest. I'm not sure. The ribbing doesn't look super clean on the top. I don't know. I'm not sure that matters too much, but I feel like I could have done a better job. I will say, give myself a little bit of grace. I did this part kind of in the dark. Not in the full dark, but in very dim light in one of the evenings that we were in Provence while a few of the other people staying at the same Airbnb as us were playing board games, and they just had like lamps on and stuff. So I was just sitting with them, watching them and working on this. So if I had done it in better light, then maybe it would have turned out better, but I'm not mad about it. that's that. Keeping with the stripe theme, I am still slowly working on my Holger jacket. Hold on. Oh, I'm in the middle of a row. What? That never happens. Why did that happen? Oh well. Okay, this is going to be really hard to show you actually because it's kind of all over the place, but it's really tangled up. But this is how far I've gotten, and as you can see, I have finished one of the sleeves, and that is because I just want to make sure I have enough yarn, basically, which I actually don't think I do. And I think I mentioned this in my last episode, but I bought all of the green, this is Pure Gint, by the way, in the Tutti Frutti Speckles and then the Matcha colorway. I bought all of the skeins of the Matcha that they had, and they only had 6, and I needed 7 for the project. But I was like, I really want to do this. I'm just going to buy what they have, and then either make it cropped or go back and buy another skein later. Yeah, those things in the moment when I'm making that decision don't stress me out, and then they stress me out later when I actually get to the part where I'm like, do I have enough yarn or not to do what I want to do? So anyway, I did one sleeve, and I'm going to do the other sleeve and then do the bottom and try to kind of estimate how much yarn I need for the collar and for the rib. I was going to do the collar just to get it done with and see, just save the rest of the green for the ribbing. But actually in the pattern, she has you do the ribbing first and then the collar, so that the collar kind of overlaps on top of the ribbing rather than the ribbing overlapping on the collar, which is what usually happens in a cardigan. So it usually sits like that. And then in this pattern, it sits like this. I hope that makes sense. But so I'm just following the pattern. If I get desperate, maybe I'll just do the collar first anyway, but I am trying to follow the pattern on this one. And I really, really like the color. It definitely reminds me of some sort of cartoon character. I'm not sure what. It just feels like, I feel like when I wear this, I'm going to feel like I'm in a storybook, like I'm a storybook character. And that'll be kind of fun. I don't mind that life. So I am slowly working on that. I have put it down a lot throughout the summer because it is just a really big, thick, rustic wool. I mean, it's not the most rustic, but it is still rustic Norwegian yarn. So I've put it down for a little while to cool my body off. I will pick it back up soon, but right now it's kind of in a bag waiting to be finished. Okay, I have some more kind of colorful knits to show you. And one of them was my daughter's birthday present. She turned 2 a couple of weeks ago, and we took her to the zoo, and it was a lot of fun. And I wanted to make her something small that she could have for her birthday. Her birthday is mid-July, so it's not like she can't really wear a big knit on her birthday. But actually the day of her birthday, it was quite chilly. It was like 19, 20 degrees. And so she was able to wear this knit that I made her. And that is a strawberry hat. So I can never really tell if this is what's popular and what's just popular in my algorithm. The only social media that I really use is Instagram, apart from YouTube, if you count that as social media. But I have been seeing strawberry hats all over my Instagram, and please let me know, are they popular right now, or is it just that I had saved a couple of them and the algorithm keeps like feeding me more? But it's all over my For You page, and some of the knitters that I follow have knitted them in the past, but I really wanted to knit one. And there are lots of strawberry hat patterns on Ravelry that I looked at, and some of them are free, some of them are paid for, but I kind of was picturing like a specific design that I wanted, and I ended up just writing my own pattern for it. So yeah, I wrote it all out. I haven't actually typed it all out. I actually wrote it out by hand in a little notebook, but I wrote it out quite detailed, which I know for sure that I have, because I'll tell you that in a minute. But anyway, I wrote the pattern myself. So I'm estimating that this is a kind of 2 to 4 year size. yeah, if you're interested, maybe I'll publish the pattern for free. I don't think I want to grade it in different sizes, but I could just publish what I've written for this pattern. I would just do that for free because it's not it's not like tech edited or graded or anything. So, but yeah, I guess like 2 year to 4 year or 5 years. I guess we'll find out really, like as she grows, how long she can wear it for. But I used some yarn already in my stash, and this is Cascade 220. I think it's just the color red. This was left over from a Christmas sweater that I made for her last year. And then this is something, it's drops something. It's like a DK worsted weight. It's a little bit of a heavier weight than the Cascade 220. I can't remember exactly which drops it was, but it's like kind of worsted. But I did knit it on a 4mm needle. And the green, I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but it kind of does stick out. Like it's thicker. You can tell that it's thicker than the red. And that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted it to kind of look like the leaves were laying on top of the berry. And then I did all of the little specks in duplicate stitch in like a scrap white that I had. And it kind of on the inside, I'll show you, it looks like there's just a bunch of floats like there are. I connected it. I kind of wove it in as I was going so that I wouldn't have to like weave in a bunch of ends later. So I did a duplicate stitch and then wove it in, did a duplicate stitch, wove it in, so that worked out really well. That was actually my first time doing duplicate stitch, like ever. I think I'd practiced it once, but not like done it on a project. I will say that I have kind of mixed feelings about Cascade 220 as a yarn. Again, I used it for my daughter's Christmas sweater, and I've heard a lot of people use that yarn. It was really like talked about and raved about, and I bought it at a yarn shop in Vancouver last autumn. I think it was Wet Coast Wools. And I saw it there for the first time in person, and I was like, oh, that's the yarn I want to use for the Christmas sweater. I was shopping for her Christmas sweater. And I don't really like working with it. I think it feels really dry and chalky when you're working with it. It's also very stiff. After you block it, it softens up and drapes way better, but when you're working with it, at least in my experience, it feels chalky and dry and stiff, and I don't like it. It doesn't glide nicely on my hands. I don't think I would really buy it again. I want to use up all the red that I have, but I don't think I would purchase more Cascade 220. Maybe. I don't know. And then the Christmas sweater that I made for my daughter, it's very pilly now, and she only really wore it for December last year, and it's very pilly under the arms. So I don't know. I don't love that yarn. I'm glad I've used it and have found that out for myself that I don't like it, but I don't like it, and I don't really recommend. If you do love it, maybe let me know what you love about it. But yeah, my experience is that it's not the best. It was fairly inexpensive though, so that was nice. So yeah, my daughter actually ended up wearing this to the zoo for her birthday, and one of her friends came to the zoo, and her friend who's 3, and really, really liked the hat and wanted to wear it. And of course, because it's my daughter's special birthday hat, I was like, no, like, we're not going to share today. But I did go home and decide to knit her one as well. So as you can see, this one's not finished. And I knitted it exactly the same. Okay, not finished, not blocked. I haven't done the duplicate stitching and I haven't blocked it. I haven't woven in the ends, but it's exactly the same otherwise. And I don't know if you can tell, maybe you can. This is way stiffer than this. This one has way more drape because it's been blocked. The yarn just loosens up so much after blocking, whereas this one is so stiff. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. But yeah, it's very stiff and chalky, and this is way softer than this. So it does soften up after blocking. So that's nice, but I just don't like working with it. And when you have to run the entire length of the skein through your hands to make something out of it, I want it to feel nice on my hands. So yeah, exactly the same, just haven't finished it. So there's 2 of those. Fun little summer knit that they can wear all throughout the year, I guess, given that she wore this on the 19th of July at the zoo. So yeah, that was a fun little project. This one took me like 2 days to finish, and this one I've been taking a little bit more time with. But oh, this is the reason why I know that I actually wrote really detailed notes on how to make the hat, because I followed my notes again to make the exact same hat. But yeah, worked out really well. Okay, my last project that I want to talk to you about, and this is the final thing because I don't have any acquisitions of any kind from this past I don't know, time between episodes. I cast it on and finished almost a sweater, which is currently blocking. So bear with me. Can you see it? Okay. This is Little Dahlia by Lene Holme Samsøe. And I made this sweater for my daughter, of course, because I can't not constantly knit for her. There we go. Okay, this is in, whoa. Okay, I might have to put this down. So just remember what it looks like. Okay, it's, oh my gosh. Oh, it's falling apart. Okay. Okay, I'll deal with that after. Anyway, maybe I'll insert some photos. Yes, that's fine. Okay, it is in Drops Extra Fine Merino, which, what color? Okay, I'll put the number of the color on the screen, but I couldn't find what the name of the color was. But it's a kind of, I don't know, licheny color. It's definitely between a green and a yellow, but more yellowish toned. My sister says it looks like baby diarrhea. So I suppose you could call it that, but I actually really like the color, so I'm sticking with it. Yeah, I knitted it not on the correct gauge whatsoever. So Little Dahlia is supposed to be knitted in a fingering weight on 3mm needles, and I knitted it at a DK weight on 4mm needles, but I sized down to the 12-month size, so that in the hopes that it would be big enough to fit my now 2-year-old. And I think it's going to be too big for her, but might end up fitting her in the winter. I don't know. I'm not too stressed about it because the thing with kid knits is that they'll always kind of grow into them eventually, and I'm happy with that. I really like the color with the flower motif. I've knitted a Little Dahlia for her before in a pink color when she was like, for when she was around 6 months old, and I like that one too, but I really like feminine knits in a not so traditionally feminine color. So I liked that one, but because it was just so like pink and flowery, it was cute, but it wasn't my style. I really like this one more because the color is just like a kind of completely wild card color, but you can definitely see that it's a feminine knit because of the floral motif. And I just think it really fits her kind of personality and also just like my preference in colors a lot more than the pink one. I have nothing against pink. It's just not on my preferred color palette. She may have differing opinions than me when she gets a bit older, but as of right now, she doesn't. So yeah, she really likes it. I haven't woven in the ends yet because, like I said before, I block it first to make sure that I don't need to lengthen anything or change anything. But once it's dry, I will weave the ends in because I think it's okay. I will also put in buttons and buttonholes. I prefer doing a sort of afterthought buttonhole. I know that a lot of people say that it kind of pushes the band out a little bit because you're creating a hole where there isn't one, but I've actually never really had that much of an issue with it. I find that I have more of an issue with yarn over buttonholes being too big for the buttons that I want to use for the cardigan. So if I make a buttonhole for where there's no hole, I can kind of control how big the hole is and then sew along the edge to kind of secure it in that size. And that's just what I like doing most. I also kind of like getting in the rhythm of like making buttonholes, like forcing my way through the yarn and then like sewing around, and kind of the satisfaction of seeing a hole appear where there wasn't one, and in a very neat way because I'm actually like, yeah, securing the sides of it. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that's it. That's all the things that I'm working on now. I actually have an insane amount of like chaotic cast on energy right now. I have so many ideas in my head that have to do with summer knits that I want to squeeze in, autumn knits that I want to start now so that I can wear them in autumn, or whoever I'm knitting for can wear them in autumn. Christmas knits. I saw, was it Hannah G Knits? I think it was Hannah from Hannah G Knits is using one of her like doodle decks to do color work motifs on her family's stockings. And I thought that was such a good idea, and I really want to do that as well. I have some yarn that I bought years ago that I had intended to become stockings for our family that I've just never done before. And I have a doodle deck. I think I have the Rhinebeck doodle deck that I bought at Flock last year. And it has a lot of like really autumnal motifs on it, but I don't need things to be like overtly Christmas for it to be Christmassy to me. So I think I'm going to do that as well. So I want to start on that kind of soon. I know that it's just like the beginning of August. Today is the 4th of August. But I have so many ideas, and there's a couple babies that I know being born, a couple of my friends' babies who are like about to have birthdays. And so I'm kind of like being pulled in all sorts of directions, trying to figure out what I want to like put my knit energy into. I can't decide, but anyway, that's like a bigger conversation, like all my ideas for another day, that I don't have time for today, unfortunately. But yeah, maybe in the near future, I'll do like a ramble of all the ideas that I have, and you can tell me to slow down, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, one more thing I want to talk about is that this coming weekend, the weekend of the 9th, 10th, I think, is Flock Fiber Festival in Seattle. And I attended last year, and it was really, really, really fun. I just got so much inspiration out of it. I also spent a lot of money and took a class and met a couple people. I didn't meet too many people, actually. I was very shy. I went in kind of by myself. I brought my daughter with me for half the day so that my husband could kind of roam Seattle as much as he wanted to for the morning, and then we switched off, so he took her for the afternoon. And then anyway, doesn't matter. I was kind of by myself. I didn't really have any buddies to go with, and so I was kind of shy. I was looking around. I ran into Emily Curtis. I met Sari Nordland. So I did like talk to a few people, but I didn't really make any like really good friendship connections that I think a lot of people have made from an event like Flock. It was still fun, but yeah, it wasn't as social for me as I kind of expected it to be. Anyway, that's not really the point that I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that this year I'm not going to Flock. And it's not because of that. It's actually because I feel that this year it's really important for me to support Canadian and stay in Canada. And I don't really want to talk about anything too political on this channel, but yeah, it is a reality that in the last 6 months, or pretty much 2025, there have been a lot of unsettling things happening down south, and it's really sad because I do really want to go down there, and I know that if I was going down to Flock, I would be supporting small business and like all of the beautiful creators that are there in Flock, but at the same time, I just really feel like I should keep my money in my own country this year. And I went to Fiber West in Vancouver in March, and I talked to one of the vendors there, and he actually told me that ever since Flock started, the smaller Canadian yarn festivals have suffered significantly because people are saving their money for Flock and not spending it at things like Fiber West and Knit City. So that kind of solidified it for me that I wasn't going to go to Flock and save my money for other things. So that's unfortunate. I think I'm going to have a lot of FOMO this coming weekend when I see everyone else posting about it, because I do really want to be there, and I really, I really want to be a part of it. But I just think it's best to stay here. That being said, I am going to be at Knit City, Vancouver at the end of September. So if you were there, please come say hi. I would love to meet anybody who might be there. I think my friend Beth is going to come. I'm hoping that she'll come. I know she watches this, so Beth, you're coming. I'm taking you. And it will be fun to actually go with somebody who is a knitter and, to support a lot of local Canadian shops, I guess, at this Canadian festival. So anyway, that's my a little announcement about that. I hope you're having a good summer, and let me know what you're working on, and let me know if you're kind of catching the autumn whispers that I am, especially on these colder days. It's actually really nice. I've been lighting a candle in the evening and knitting with the open window so that I can just feel the cooler air at night. So that's really nice. But I am looking forward to summer being over as usual and to get back into cozy weather. So, okay. See you later, friends.